Okay, estamos en lección 5. Any questions from lesson 4?
Oh man, I've reviewed lesson 4. I need to review it again.
Okay. Any questions anybody can think of, or should we just jump right into lección 5? Well, hoy vamos a repasar las compras, como ordenar comida en español, los verbos y los colores. And then the new stuff, lo nuevo, vamos a aprender el alfabeto. Vamos a hablar de latinos famosos. Today we're going to order food again, but this time at the pizzeria Argentina. We've got a reading activity about Argentina and, of course, lots of conversación. Para comenzar, vamos a repasar los adjetivos. So remember, in Spanish, the article, the noun, and the adjectives all have to line up in number and in gender, right? Jeff, el libro es roja. Is this sentence grammatically correcta o incorrecta?
Incorrecta.
Muy bien, ¿por qué? Can you fix it?
El libro es rojo.
Muy bien. Las plantas son bonitas, Mateo.
Correcta.
Los teléfonos es blanco.
Correcta.
Incorrecta.
Oh.
There's a mistake here.
El teléfono es blanco.
Ahí está. El pizarra es grande.
Correcta.
Incorrecta. There's a mistake here.
Oh, la pizarra es grande.
Las casas son baratas.
Las casas son baratas. Correcta.
Incorrecta. There are two mistakes in this one.
Is it las casas son baratas?
Las casas son baratas. So here we have to make a la plural, and we also have to make barata plural.
Okay.
Está bien. El elefante es grande.
Correcta.
El carro es chico.
Correcta.
Los doctores son buenos.
Incorrecta. Los doctores son buenos.
El playa es fea.
La playa es fea.
Muy bien. El actriz es bonito.
Incorrecta. La actriz es bonita.
Describe las flores, Jeff.
Las flores es bonita y amarillo.
Las flores is plural. We're talking about the flowers.
Okay. So las flores. Las flores. Las flores bonita y.
Do something to bonita. Bonita is singular.
Bonitas.
Las flores bonitas.
Y amarillo.
And you have to do something to amarillo too.
Those are amarillos.
Closer.
Amarillas.
Amarillas.
Okay. Las flores es bonitas y amarillos.
Las flores son
amarillas.
Las flores son bonitas y amarillas.
Okay, son. Okay.
Mateo, describe el carro.
El carro es chico y azul.
Describe la casa.
La casa es grande y gris.
Describe los zapatos.
Los zapatos son viejos y rojos.
Describe la planta.
La planta es buena y viejo, verde.
Describe el gato.
El gato es bonito y negro.
Describe el perro.
El perro es chico y el blanco. Blanco.
Blanco. Describe el escritorio.
El escritorio es viejo y marrón.
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 Describe el marcador.
El marcador el marcador bueno y morado.
Describe la computadora.
La computadora es nueva y anaranjada.
Okay, let's learn the alphabet. Repiten. A,
A,
B,
B,
C,
C,
D,
D,
E,
E,
F,
F,
G,
G,
H,
H,
I,
I,
J,
J,
K,
K,
L,
L,
M,
M,
N,
N,
O, N,
N,
O,
O,
P,
P,
Q,
Q,
R,
R,
S,
S,
T,
T,
U,
U,
V,
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 W,
V doble,
X,
X,
Y,
Y,
Z.
Z.
Muy bien. So I created this little color-coded chart to help you out with this. Alphabet's just a long random chain of sounds. So it can be kind of hard to memorize, right? The letters that I have represented with orange are going to produce the A sound, like A, J, K, Z. You just got 2 for E, and a keys, 1 for O, and then 2 for U, Ku and U. And then as you can see, the vast majority of these are going to produce the A vowel sound. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, etc. So when in doubt, guess A. And here's the alphabet again. Okay, so let's go through it one more time. Repiten. A, B,
B,
C,
C,
D,
D,
E,
E,
F,
F,
G,
E,
H,
H,
I,
I,
J,
J,
K,
K,
L,
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 M,
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 N,
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 O,
O,
P,
P,
Q,
Q,
R,
R,
S,
S,
T,
T,
U,
U,
V,
V,
W,
W,
X,
X,
Y,
Y,
Z.
Z.
Have either of you ever studied Spanish before in either high school or college?
No.
Yeah, no,
Mateo, you did?
in high school, yeah.
Yeah, most of my students have studied it at some point. So I like to point out that languages change and evolve over time, and we can actually see a real solid example of this here with the alphabet. Mateo, you probably learned a different version of this alphabet when you studied it. And that's because the Royal Spanish Academy made an official change to the alphabet in 2010. That was only 12 years ago. So that kind of means we have to know both versions, right? So just a couple of things that I like to point out here. Before 2010, the letter B and the letter V in Spanish both produced the same sound. They both produced the B as in boy sound, right? So if you're like spelling or, you know, trying to figure out how to spell a word and you had to differentiate here, you could do that by saying B grande or B chica, right? They actually changed it, so now it's be and ube to help people when they're spelling these two. All right. Another change was the letter Y used to be called the Y, meaning the Greek I. This originally came from the Greek alphabet, I guess. And then after 2010, they changed it to just be pronounced as ye, in line with the way that it's pronounced when you're, you know, saying most words. The W used to be doble B. They changed it to follow the official grammar rule that adjectives follow what they're describing. So now it's the ube doble, also since they changed the B to ube. And then they eliminated the 3 double letters. They just determined that they weren't official letters. They're double letters. They don't need to be learned as letters. So there's still one additional letter. We have 26 letters. Spanish alphabet has 27 because of the ñ, but it used to have 30, right? And so now they got rid of the che, the ege, and the r, right? So this is the official Spanish alphabet today. Well, why are we learning the alphabet? The good news is Spanish is phonetic, which means spelling is pretty easy, just as long as you know your vowel sounds. Like in this situation, the word for class is clase, and we know that A is A and E is A, so A, clase. We can kind of guess our way through the spelling in Spanish fairly easily. The one thing I always like to point out with my students is if you're traveling and they have made an error on your name, you know, if you went to a Spanish-speaking travel agent down in Argentina to get your ticket home and they messed up your name, you're not getting on that plane, right? So for that reason, I always want to at least make sure you know how to spell your names, because both of you, Jeff, Matthew, your official American English names, are not going to be easy for a Spanish speaker to guess and spell. So to say how do you spell, you say como se deletrea. Repite, como se deletrea.
Como se deletrea.
Muy bien, okay. So Jeff, why don't you ask these questions to Mateo?
Oh, ¿cómo te llamas?
Me llamo Mateo.
¿Cómo se deletrea tu nombre?
Se deletrea M-A-T-T-H-E-W.
Damn, that's good. Okay. ¿Cuál es tu apellido?
Es Turner.
¿Cómo se deletrea tu apellido?
Se deletrea T-U-R-N-E-R.
Okay. ¿Cuál es tu correo electrónico?
Oh man. S M T U R N 0687 at Gmail. I guess it would be. Arroba gmail.com. I guess that would be. I got that.
Okay.
I saw the cheat sheet.
Right in the corner, okay.
All right, so I'll ask you now. ¿Cómo te llamas?
Me llamo Jeff.
¿Cómo se deletrea tu nombre?
Se deletrea. Oh shit!
If you got your book on you?
I don't have the book.
Oh no. I can help. Maybe help you. I don't know. I can't
Okay.
see what I'm showing you.
Okay. What's G?
G is pronounced hey.
Hey. A. O. F. F.
Okay. ¿Cuál es tu apellido? ¿Cuál es tu apellido?
Apellido.
Apellido?
Apellido. Mhm.
Apellido.
Last name. Apellido.
S. Hey. R. A. N. T.
Careful. You said Inye, which is the N with the squiggle on top. Yours is just the
Okay.
regular N-A.
N.
N-A. We have an N-A, which is our regular N. Inye with the squiggle on top.
Okay.
Okay.
So that was hold on. What I asked, I think, was what is your last name? ¿Cuál es tu apellido?
Apellido.
Okay.
How is that? So 2L, why is it a J sound?
Because I learned Spanish in South America. You can say apellido if that's easier for
¿Cuál
you.
es tu apellido?
Apellido.
Apellido.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that wrong. Apellido. ¿Cuál es tu apellido?
S. Grant.
¿Cómo se deletrea tu apellido?
Apellido.
Apellido.
Ahí está.
Se deletrea G. R. A. N. T.
¿Cuál es tu correo electrónico? Hope it's short.
No.
Everybody
S.
goes and changes their email addresses after this class.
Right?
S. A. E. Oh my God.
Cuidado, remember the E is pronounced A.
A.
S-A,
Okay.
A.
S. A. And then Y.
Yay.
Yay. O. U. R.
R.
R. S. A. Doble. U.
V doble.
V. Doble. A. R.
A-R.
¿Qué?
R.
R.
R. The R is
Arroba.
pronounced R.
Punto. Gmail.
Arroba gmail.com.
Arroba gmail.com.
Not punto dot, just punto.
Okay. Punto.com.
Yeah, that's some fun stuff for you. Keep practicing that. Okay. All right, let's go shopping again. However, this time we're going to observe a little bit more of a natural conversation. When you walk into a store, people are going to be kind of sizing you up, and thinking, okay, here comes a gringo. Here comes, an American, like. But when you start speaking Spanish, they're going to be like, whoa, wait a second. So just like here, I think most people in Spanish-speaking countries are really friendly and they're going to be curious, right? So here's what a conversation would probably go like in most situations, right? So Jeff, I'll have you be my guinea pig. Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, gracias. Necesito una botella de agua.
Botella.
Botella
Botella.
de agua.
Muy bien. ¿De dónde eres?
Soy de los Estados Unidos. ¿Y tú?
Soy de Guadalajara. ¿Hablas español? Muy bien.
Gracias. ¿Cuánto cuesta todo?
La botella de agua cuesta 25 pesos.
Perfecto. Llevo todo.
Good, right? All right, so let's break this down a little bit, right? You go in, you ask for a bottle of water. The person says, where are you from? All right? You tell them you're from the US. You make it conversational. Y tú, oh, I'm from here. I'm from Mexico. I'm from Guadalajara. Almost always they're going to compliment you on your Spanish. This is something I love about the Spanish culture, right? Hablas español muy bien. You speak Spanish really well. No matter how much or how little Spanish you speak, if you try to speak with a native Spanish speaker, they're typically going to encourage you. And I got to tell you, I've studied French and I've been to France on multiple occasions, and they do not want to hear it. They do not want to hear the American butchering their language, and they'll tell you straight to your face, your French is terrible, let's speak English. So this is something that's really nice about speaking Spanish, right? So let's go over some questions that, in my experience of having lived in Argentina and traveled all over the Spanish-speaking world, almost every time I went to into a store, I got asked one of these questions, right? So this first question, sometimes it can kind of seem a little invasive from our American perspective, but the family is just the center of everything in Spanish-speaking countries. So almost always people start by asking you questions about your family. So, ¿estás casado? Would be a very common question you're going to get used, you have to get used to asking, which means, are you married, right? And then the next one, ¿tienes hijos? Do you have children? Okay. Mateo, ¿estás casado?
Sí.
¿Tienes hijos?
Sí, tengo un hijo.
Muy bien. How old are you? I'm going to teach you this question for a couple of reasons. With the caveat that we understand that it's not necessarily a polite question to ask, like especially here in the United States, we don't ask this question to people, right? Honestly, the same cultural rule applies in Spanish-speaking countries, but for whatever reason, they just disregard it when they're talking with Americans. I don't know why they're so curious about our age, but you're going to get asked this question a lot. I don't know why, but it's something that happens. I also like to teach it just because there's a little disconnect between how we say it. We say, how old are you? In Spanish, they say, how many years do you have? Okay. So, right? Jeff, ¿cuántos años tienes?
Yo tengo 51 años.
And so 51, you want to say 51 años.
51 años. 51 años. Okay.
All right. Mateo, ¿te gusta la pelota? Pelota is a generic word for ball. In most Spanish-speaking countries, they're going to be referring to soccer with this question. Unless you're in the Caribbean, so think Cuba, Dominican Republic, or Puerto Rico, and for whatever reason, Venezuela, where baseball is the most popular sport. Mateo, ¿te gusta la pelota?
No me gusta la pelota.
Okay, so I'm not going to ask you the follow-up question, which would be, what is your favorite team, or ¿cuál es tu equipo favorito? Jeff, ¿qué te gusta hacer?
¿Qué te gusta hacer? Do I like?
What do you like to do?
Oh, what do I like to do? Vivir mi amigos.
Convivir.
Convivir mi amigos.
Convivir con los amigos. Let me write it for you.
Yeah. ¿Qué te gusta? Me gusta convivir con los amigos. Okay. Me gusta convivir con los amigos.
You know what he's saying, Mateo?
to conversate? I don't know. That's a guess.
Convivir means to hang out.
Convivir. So
Convivir.
in this situation, you wouldn't say me gusta convivo?
No, because when you
Okay.
connect the verb gustar, you conjugate the first verb and you leave the second one in the infinitive form.
Okay.
And we do the same thing. I like to hang out, right? We're not saying I hang out.
True.
Because if you said me gusta convivo, that's literally what you're saying. I hang out. Muy bien. Oops. Mateo, ¿dónde estudias español?
Estudio in the language school.
¿A qué te dedicas, Jeff?
How do you say I am?
Yo soy.
Yo soy dedicas.
So here you don't say dedicas. Yo soy inspector.
Oh,
So this is
yo
the question
soy
you do for work.
inspector.
Okay. Yo soy inspector. Muy bien. Mateo, ¿qué haces aquí en Mexico? So this is another common question, right? What are you doing here in Mexico? People are going to be curious. Let's say you're on vacation. Estoy de vacaciones. If you're on business, estoy aquí por negocios. Maybe you're going to do a little study abroad program for a week or a weekend or something like that. Estoy estudiando español.
Estudiando español.
I'm studying Spanish. If you have family that lives there, tengo familia aquí. So Jeff, ¿qué haces aquí en México?
Estoy de vacaciones.
Muy bien. Mateo, ¿escuchas la música salsa?
No escucho.
Jeff, ¿escuchas la música bachata o merengue?
Sí. Me gusta merengue.
Muy bien. Mateo, ¿te gusta el tango o escuchas la música tango?
No escucho la música tango.
Jeff, ¿escuchas la música mariachi?
Sí, me gusta mariachi.
Perfecto. So let's put it together. Let's do a little practice round here. I'm just going to throw in some random questions. So imagine, Mateo, you need to buy a bottle of water, and I'm just going to kind of mix things up. Remember, if I've asked you like one or two questions, and you're just ready to end the conversation, you say, ¿Cuánto cuesta todo? And then, perfecto, llevo todo, okay? Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, gracias. Necesito una botella de agua.
Muy bien. ¿Hablas español? Muy bien. ¿De dónde eres?
Soy de Estados Unidos.
Muy bien. ¿Qué te gusta hacer?
Me gusta hacer snowboarding con mi familia.
Oh, aquí en México no.
No en México.
¿Qué haces aquí en México?
Estoy en vacaciones.
Estoy de vacaciones.
Estoy de vacaciones. ¿Cuánto cuesta todo?
La botella de agua cuesta 25 pesos.
Perfecto, llevo todo.
Gracias. Perfect. Nice job with that. Okay. Muy bien. Okay, Jeff, your turn. Te toca. Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, gracias. Necesito una botella de agua.
Muy bien. ¿De dónde eres? Not me soy, just soy. Soy de.
Soy Unidos.
Soy de los Estados Unidos.
Soy Estados Unidos.
Soy de los. Soy de los.
Soy de los Estados Unidos.
Perfecto. ¿Hablas español? Muy bien. ¿Te gusta la pelota?
La pelota que, ¿cómo se dice la pelota?
If we're in Mexico, I'm probably referring to soccer. ¿Te gusta la
Oh.
pelota?
Oh, no me gusta.
Ah, el fútbol americano, ¿no?
Sí.
¿Dónde estudias español?
¿Estudias español? Sí, un poco español.
Sí, ¿dónde estudias español?
Am I a student of Spanish?
Where do you study Spanish?
Oh, ¿dónde estudias español? The language school. The language escuela.
The language, bueno, it's a proper noun, so you could say the language.
The escuela language.
La escuela de idiomas.
La escuela idiomas.
Okay, bien. So now wrap up the conversation. ¿Cuánto cuesta?
Oh, ¿cuánto cuesta todo?
La botella de agua cuesta 25 pesos.
Perfecto, llevo todo.
Gracias. Nos vemos. Nice job with that. Mateo, ¿de qué color es el equipo de España?
El equipo de España es roja y azul.
Sí, rojo y azul.
Okay, so you do it off of el equipo.
El equipo, exacto.
El equipo, not.
And also, color is masculine, right? So unless we were describing something inherently, like a shirt would be femenina, right? But here we're describing the color of the team, so masculine.
Okay.
Jeff, ¿de qué color es el equipo de Alemania?
The color es negro y rojo.
¿De qué color es el equipo de Argentina?
El equipo de Argentina es blanco y azul.
¿De qué color es el equipo de Brasil?
Oh, Brazil es amarillo.
Cuidado, because it's el equipo, not Brasil. El equipo es.
El equipo es amarillo.
Y azul.
Oh, y azul.
Y maybe a verde y verde.
Oh, y azul y verde.
¿De qué color es el equipo de Holanda?
El equipo es anaranjado.
¿De qué color es el equipo de Bélgica?
El equipo es rojo y amarillo.
¿De qué color es el equipo de Francia?
El equipo de Francia es azul y rojo.
¿De qué color es el equipo de Estados Unidos?
El equipo de Estados Unidos es blanco y verde.
Por el arquero. Así, ya. Muy bien. ¿De qué color es el equipo de Nigeria?
El equipo es verde y blanco.
Muy bien. Enrique Peña Nieto fue el presidente de México. No fue popular porque durante su presidencia se escapó el Chapo, la violencia se incrementó y la economía sufrió. Jeff, ¿te gusta Enrique Peña Nieto?
Enrique Peña Nieto me gusta.
Ok. Mateo, Fidel Castro y Che Guevara fueron los revolucionarios que introdujeron el comunismo a Cuba y mantienen a los cubanos en la década de los 50. ¿Te gustan Fidel Castro y Che Guevara?
No me gustó me gustan Fidel Castro y Che Guevara.
Pitbull es un rapero de Miami de ascendencia cubana. Es famoso por decir dale. ¿Te gusta Pitbull?
Me gusta people.
Marc Anthony y Jennifer Lopez son cantantes muy famosos, pero son conocidos por tener una de las relaciones públicas más celosas y feas. ¿Te gusta Marc Anthony y Jennifer Lopez, Mateo?
No, no me gusta.
George Lopez es un cómico chicano de Los Ángeles y usa muchísimo el Spanglish en su comedia. ¿Te gusta George Lopez?
Me gusta. Me gusta George Lopez.
Mateo, Cheech and Chong es un dúo de comedia activo desde los 70 y muy popular entre personas que fuman marihuana. ¿Te gustan Cheech and Chong?
Sí, me gustan.
Carlos Slim es el mayor empresario de México y a veces conocido como el hombre más rico del mundo. ¿Te gusta Carlos Slim?
No me gusta. I don't know him.
Está bien. You could always say no sé. No sé.
No sé.
But based on what we're reading about him here, el Papa Francisco es el primer Papa latinoamericano desde Argentina. Es conocido por ser humilde y está renovando la popularidad del catolicismo en el mundo. Mateo, ¿te gusta el Papa Francisco?
Sí, me gusta.
Perfecto. Nice. Vamos a repasar los verbos. Jeff, ¿qué significa ordenar?
Ordenar. Yo.
So what does it mean? ¿Qué significa?
Order.
To order.
And
¿Cómo se dice I order?
I order, you order. So yo or ordenar to.
You got to do something to it, remember?
Yeah, I do.
All right.
I take off the AR.
Yeah. So
Yo orden.
quick little sketch up for you. We're going to change this ending here to O and down
Ordeño.
here to as.
Ordeñas.
Ordeno. It's not the ñe.
Okay.
It doesn't have the squiggle on top, so it's just the ordeno.
Ordeno. Ordenas.
Right?
You
Ordeno.
order, I order.
Ordenas.
Tú ordenas, meaning you. Yo ordeno.
Vamos, Mateo. Tomar. ¿Qué significa tomar?
To drink. So yo tomo, tú tomas.
Reservar, Jeff.
Yo reservo. Tú reserva.
Reservas.
Reservas.
Bailar.
To dance. Yo bailo, tú bailas.
Cocinar.
Yo cocino. Tú cocinas.
Esquiar.
To ski, and that's yo esquio, tú esquias.
Viajar.
Viajar. Yo viajo. Tú viajas.
Desear.
To want. Yo deseo, tú deseas.
Comer.
Yo come.
What does it mean?
Eat.
To eat. Good. So how do you say I eat?
I eat, you eat. It's tú comes and yo
That's you.
como.
Yo como. Muy bien. Leer.
To read. Yo leo, tú lees.
Beber.
Beber. What is that? To drink?
To drink. Good.
Yo bebe. And
Not
tú
bebe. Yo always ends with O.
Bebo.
Bebo. Yo
Yo
bebo.
bebo.
I drink.
Tu bebas.
Yeah, that would be if it were an AR verb. This is an ER verb, so it ends with ES. Tu bebes.
Bebes.
Tu bebes.
Tu bebes.
Correr.
To run, corro, and corres.
Okay, perfecto. All right, so let's get comfortable answering questions here. By the way, Jeff, did you ever get the presentations to download?
Yes, I did. I
Okay.
finally did.
Good, good. Okay, Jeff, ¿ordenas jugo de naranja con el desayuno?
What is this? Naranja. Order orange juice con el desayuno.
¿Qué significa el desayuno?
El desayuno.
Breakfast.
Oh. Order, sí, me gusta jugo de naranja y el desayuno.
Me gusta. So to try to, what we're trying to do here, to get conversational, it's about being able to identify the verb. And then remember, this ending is what's going to change, right?
Okay.
So just to simplify this for you, what you said is fine. Me gusta jugo de naranja. But what I'm trying to get my students to understand with at this stage is that verbs interact with each other conversationally with a certain way, right?
Mm-hmm.
We ask in the you form, ordenas. We answer in the I form, ordeno.
Ordeno, jugo de naranja.
This will actually make it a lot easier for you if you think about it this way. If you just directly answer the question, sí, ordeno jugo de naranja con el desayuno. So I'm asking, do you order? You're saying, yes, I order.
Okay.
That's the relationship we're looking to establish here.
Okay. Ordeno jugo de naranja con el desayuno.
Perfecto. Mateo, ¿tomas café por la mañana?
Sí, tomo café todos horas de día.
Todo el día, todo el día.
Todo el día.
Jeff, ¿reservas una mesa normalmente?
Reservo una mesa normalmente.
Mateo, ¿bailas en la discoteca?
No me bailo en la discoteca.
Don't say me, just say no bailo.
No bailo.
¿Cocinas comida mexicana?
Sí, cocino comida mexicana.
¿Esquías mucho durante el invierno?
Sí, esquío mucho.
¿Viajas por Sudamérica?
Viajo por Sudamérica.
¿Qué deseas beber hoy?
Deseo beber la cerveza.
¿Comes comida cubana mucho?
Como comida cubana mucho.
¿Cuántos vasos de agua bebes generalmente?
De agua. ¿Qué significa vasos?
How many cups or how many glasses of water do you drink normally?
Bebo 5 o 6.
¿Lees un buen libro ahora, Jeff?
Leo un buen libro ahora.
Just leo.
Leo un buen libro ahora.
¿Corres fuera o en el gimnasio?
¿Qué significa afuera?
Outside?
Oh, corro fuera.
Muy bien. Entonces, to truly become conversational, you also have to get used to making your own questions, right? So this next activity is dedicated towards getting you comfortable doing that. On the right side, I've got different types of bebidas or drinks, okay? You can use any of these verbs to form a full question here, like beber, tomar, ordenar, o desear. So remember, to ask a question, you just put the verb in the to form, like bebes, and then whatever. So if we are on number 7, the question would be bebes la cerveza? And then the person answering is going to change that bebes over to bebo, right? And either put sí or no at front. Sí, bebo la cerveza. Does that make sense? So let's go back and forth. Jeff, pregúntale a Mateo, número 1.
El jugo de naranja. Okay. Ordeno el jugo de
So
naranja.
put it in the to form, in the you form.
Ordenas el jugo de naranja.
Sí, ordeno el jugo de naranja. ¿Deseas el jugo de manzanas? Manzana?
Did you say desear?
Yep. Deseas.
Oh, deseas. Deseo el jugo manzana.
So now, Jeff, number 3.
Tomar el café.
Tomas. Remember to put it in the to form.
Tomas el café.
Sí, tomo el café. ¿Ordenas la leche?
Ordeno la leche.
So now, Jeff, number 5.
Oh, okay, my bad.
I'm going to correct you if I need to, but don't wait for my correction.
Oh, okay.
If I'm not saying anything, it's because you did a good job.
Beber.
So you have to do, remember, you have to do something to beber.
Oh, bebes el agua.
Sí, bebo el agua. ¿Tomas los frescos?
Los refrescos.
Los refrescos.
Sí, tomo los refrescos. Oh, or ordenas los refrescos.
Ordeno los refrescos. ¿Deseas la cerveza?
Deseo la cerveza.
So, 8. Now
Tomo el vino.
Tomás.
Tomás el vino.
Tomo el vino. ¿Qué significa los tragos?
Tragos.
Tragos.
Tragos means cocktails.
Los tragos. ¿Deseas los tragos?
Deseo los tragos. Ordeno el ron.
Ordenas
el ron.
Ordeno el ron.
Muy bien. Ahora, la misma actividad con comidas. So comidas means food or meals. Again, on the left, you have 4 different activities that you can do with a food or a meal. Comer, ordenar, desear, cocinar. So remember, you ask a question in the to form, right? For example, comes la carne, and then you answer it in the I form. Sí, como la carne. Okay, so Jeff to Mateo, start us off. Número uno.
¿Comes el desayuno?
Como el desayuno.
Comes.
Cocinas el almuerzo.
Almuerzo. Mhm.
Ordeno el almuerzo. Almuerzo. Almuerzo.
Ahí está. Okay.
¿Qué significa?
Almuerzo is lunch.
Ah.
So you asked him, do you cook lunch? And he said, no, I order lunch.
Oh.
Como la cena?
Comes, tu form.
Comes.
Tu comes.
Comes.
Sí, como la cena. ¿Deseas los huevos?
Sí, deseo los huevos. ¿Comes el arroz?
Sí, como el arroz.
Isn't that corn?
El arroz is rice.
Rice, okay.
¿Deseas la carne?
Sí, deseo la carne. Cocino la fruta?
Cocinas.
Cocinas.
Cocino la fruta.
You cook fruit, Matt?
No cocina la fruta. ¿Cómo?
I guess technically, if you're making a pie, you could cook some fruit.
Yeah, I don't make pies very often. That'd been a bad answer. ¿Ordenas el pollo?
Sí, ordeno el pollo. Como las verduras?
Comes.
Comes.
¿Qué significa las verduras?
Vegetables.
Como las verduras. ¿Cocinas el pescado?
No, no como el pescado.
Muy bien. Muy bien. Okay, let's see here. We have time for this activity, so let's run through it real quick. First, let's review our useful questions. We're going to imagine like we're all hanging out down in Buenos Aires together, going out to a steakhouse. So the server is not going to speak any English, but I'm with you. So if we get into a situation where you don't understand what something is, or you want to say something that you don't know how to say, you can use these questions that I taught you in the first couple of classes to kind of navigate the situation, right? So the first one is, ¿cómo se dice? What does that mean?
How do you say?
How do you say?
¿Qué significa?
What does that mean?
¿Puedo hacer una pregunta?
Can I ask you a question?
No entiendo.
I don't understand.
Repite, por favor.
Please repeat.
Más despacio, por favor.
Slower, please.
Más despacio.
All right, so check it out here. The waiter comes up to the table, hands you a piece of paper, and on the piece of paper, this is what it says. What would you say? The idea is to try to make sure you understand everything.
Mi ordeno ensalada.
But before you're getting ahead of yourself, Jeff. So
Okay.
first, do you understand everything that you see here?
Not everything, but enough.
All right. The idea is to understand everything.
Okay.
All right. So what do you say if you don't understand something?
¿Qué significa? ¿Qué significa? Or no entiendo.
No entiendo. But if you want to say que significa, you also have to say what it is.
Oh, ¿qué significa bistec?
Bistec. Aha. That's what you want to order. That means steak.
Oh, okay. ¿Qué significa cerdo?
Pork.
Okay, I'm good now.
Now you got the rest of it? Okay, Mateo?
¿Qué significas tragos?
Tragos, cocktails.
Cocktail.
Oh, that's right. Cocktails. Es bistec grande o chico?
Ajá, el bistec es grande.
Ah, bueno.
Okay, muy bien.
No.
¿Qué significa empanadas?
¿Cómo se dice pastry? Right?
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, so, good.
This is like a meat pastry.
It's like a patty, a meat patty. Right? Kind of like, yeah, similar to that. It's a pastry. Yeah, it's a kind of bread with some meat and cheese on the inside. Okay, bien. So now what happens when the waiter comes up to the table and says the following to you? What would you say to this? Remember, if you don't understand something, you have to tell me, okay? Buenas tardes, damas y caballeros. Les cuento que el plato del día es el bistec acompañado con puré de papas y una ensalada de tomate y cebolla. Les doy un momento para pensar, pero mientras tanto, ¿desean una botella de vino o un trago?
Más despacio, por favor.
Está bien. Buenas tardes, damas y caballeros. Les cuento que el plato del día es el bistec acompañado con puré de papas y una ensalada de tomate y cebolla. Les doy un momento para pensar, pero mientras tanto, ¿desean una botella de vino o un trago?
Deseo un trago, por favor.
Está bien. But do you understand everything?
No entiendo. Les doy un momento para pensar, pero that piece.
Okay, yeah. So les doy means I'll give you. Un momento means a moment.
Moment.
Para pensar, to think.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's basically the idea here is I'm trying to put you into a real life situation where you're not going to understand because you have to be honest with people, right? If you're actually sitting down at like I used to go out when I first went, the first time I went to Spain, I would just point at stuff on the menu without really knowing what it was that I was ordering, and it was not a good experience. So I wish somebody would have taught me the importance of these phrases, right? To try to kind of navigate the situation. If you don't understand something, it's okay to say no entiendo qué significa más despacio. That was good the way you said más despacio, etc. Right? Bien. We're going to wrap things up here for today. ¿Tienen preguntas? Any questions?
That book, Matthew, where'd you get that libro?
Oh, Amazon.
Okay.
You should have a link for that book in the same email where you got the presentations, Jeff. There's a link.
Yeah, I didn't know which book. I got the 5 easy steps.
You have to get both of them, yeah.
Okay.
And I've got the book here at my house if you want to stop by. I'm in Montbello, so not too far away from you.
Okay.
If you want to come grab it, you can come grab it. Or if you get it from Amazon, it should get there in 2 days.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got flashcards and stuff you can rip out and cut up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bueno. Thank you.
Okay.
Bien, if there's not any other preguntas, we're going to wrap things up here for today y nos vemos el martes.
Sí. Buenos noches. Is it too late or too early to say buenas noches?
Too early. Buenas tardes.
Buenas
Buenas
tardes.
Nos vemos.
Nos vemos.